everyone, and welcome back to Club Ed for installment number 2 of beginner ukulele lessons, brought to you by Arts at the Palace Theater in Hamilton, New York. Hope you're having a fine day. Today we're going to learn 3 new chords, the A, the D, and the E. Let's start with the A chord. The A chord, you're going to put your second finger on the 4th string, the string closest to you, at the 2nd fret. Then you will add your first finger to the 3rd string, 1st fret. The first 2 strings will be open. The A chord. You can always look at the chart to see how the fingering goes. The D chord we can play a couple different ways. If you leave your second finger where it is on the A chord, and then sneak your 3rd and 4th fingers around behind it and place them on the 2nd fret of the 3rd string and the 2nd string, so you got 3 in a row, and the 1st string being open, we have a D chord. Another way of executing this is to play your A chord, leave your second finger where it is, but collapse it so it squashes down and plays the 2nd fret of the 4th and 3rd strings, and then add your 3rd finger on the 2nd string, 2nd fret, 1st string open. So again, I've got one finger rather, squashed down to cover 2 separate strings at the same time. And a lot of people find that much easier to do than trying to fit all 3 of these in here. Depends on how big your fingers are. I've got fat fingers, so it's easier for me to squash them down. And back to the A chord. So A, D, A. The E7 chord, you'll place your first finger on the 1st fret of the 4th string, 2nd finger on the 3rd string, 2nd fret, and your 3rd finger, your ring finger, on the 1st string, 2nd fret. The E7 chord. And back to the A chord. So we'll be learning You Are My Sunshine, a staple in American folk music. Everybody has to know how to play this happy song. So we're going to use the same thing that we did last week, a simple thumb strum, thumb playing the 4th string, and then just a flick of your first finger outward with the strum. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. So I'm going to play it a little quicker this time, just to show you how it's going to sound. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. We'll switch to D now, and back to A, and back to D now, and back to A. Stay on A, E7, back to A. So one of the problems we encounter when we're learning a song is finding a proper key to sing in. A happens to be a good key for a lot of people. For me, it works. Some people might want to sing it a little higher. Let's try it in C. So if I go to C, my A will become a C. So whatever I do to the first chord, I have to move the rest. So A would be A, B, C. That's 3 fingers. Okay, then the D will become D, E, F. And the E will become E, F, G. We're going to play them. E7, F7, G7. So let me go over that again. A becomes C, D becomes F, E7 becomes G7. And I'll put a chart for both keys at the end of the video. If we do it in C, I'll do the same thing, just a thumb strum. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. I'm going to switch to an F next. gray, back to C, and now back to F, back to C, C to G7, back to C. Now later on we'll be looking at how to play some single note melodies, something like those kind of things. I'll show you how to read tab, or if you know how to read music, we'll put it up both ways. And we'll start to learn some of the notes on the neck. But for now, we're going to stick with just some simple strums, and we'll get into the note reading later on. All right, so let's go over this again in A. Another thing you can do, instead of a strum, is what's called a pluck. So for a pluck, what I'm doing here is I'm placing my first finger on the third string, my second finger on the second string, my ring finger on the first string. And what I will do then is just pull those in toward my palm. That's called a pluck. So if I start with my thumb playing the fourth string, I'd have this. As opposed to a thumb strum. They sound a little different. Some people prefer the pluck to the strum. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Same as the strum. Another thing we'll learn how to do later on, I'm going to start today if you want to, with a little bit of finger picking. So the finger picking, which sounds kind of nice, we'll do a simple arpeggio. An arpeggio means you're going to play each note of the chord separately. So we'll start by playing the lower two strings with the thumb. Fourth string first, and then the third string. First finger will then play the second string, and the second finger will play the first string. So I'll have this. One of the things that's fun to play is this. So I'm starting with an A chord, and I'll use my arpeggio, and then I'm going to slide my hand up so my first finger is on the second fret of the third string. I'll place my third finger on the fourth fret of the fourth string. And then I'll slide that whole thing up 2 frets, back down to the second fret with my first finger, back to my A chord. You may find it easier when you change these to lead with your third finger. So I've got my A chord. There's my third finger ready to go. I'm going to place it on the fourth fret while my first finger goes to the second fret of the third string. And then I'll just slide that up again, leading with my third finger. Back to this, back to my A. So we can do all kinds of things with this. Another fun progression to play, it's very simple, is the C, A minor, F, and G. So we learned the C last week. Then the A minor, which is just the second finger on the second fret of the fourth string. You leave that there, add your first finger to the first fret of the second string, F chord, and then we're going to go to a G7, leave your first finger where it was on the F, move your second finger to the second fret of the third string, and your third finger to the second fret of the first string. million songs using that progression. Okay, so try all those things. They're fun, and we'll do another lesson next week. And enjoy yourself, and see you soon. Bye.